Business department. However, I'm able to tell you a little bit about also different programs that we have with you that you can study with us. So I would say just let's start. And if you have any questions, I don't mind if you put everything in chat, or if you can also interrupt me. I don't have a problem with that either. Only that I won't be able to see it, so you guys would have to make some noise if you have questions, because otherwise I wouldn't know how to pay attention to the chat and do this. So University of Applied Sciences, and I'm going to explain to you a little bit where we are situated. So as I understood that this is the third webinar that you guys have. I don't know about the other universities, but of course the Netherlands, that's a given. And we have different campuses throughout the Netherlands. And I'm going to tell you today only about the representative ones for you guys. Oops, I don't know what happened. Yeah, so you see some pictures here. This is, for example, Eindhoven. This is how it looks like. And I'm going to, of course, share with you a little bit more things, but a few fun facts about the Netherlands. Of course, you know that a lot of people bike in the Netherlands, right? I can imagine that this is not new information for you. However, did you also know that we have more bikes than we have Dutch people in the Netherlands or people in the Netherlands? Because kind of every household has more bicycles in their garage than there are people in the house. If I look at my own household, we are 4 people and we have 6 bicycles and 1 scooter. So although for 4 people, quite a lot, right? So you see, even in my household, more bicycles than people to take them. Why is that? Well, because we really love biking so much that we also have a bike for the city. So we call it even a city bike, and we have a bike that we take when we want to go on longer rides. We don't really need mountain bikes and this kind of stuff because Holland is really flat. So we don't really need it. However, yeah, we have more bicycles. So yeah, that's something very strange, but something very true. Okay, study in the Netherlands. Let's get into some serious things today. Well, we are all about discovering and developing your talents. And we have a very weird way to do that. We let you figure out a lot of things on your own because we are very practical. And that actually means, you know, discover things together with others. It could be with us as well, but we are not going to take the lead and tell you what to do. You're going to take the lead and you're going to explain to us why you believe that the path you're taking is the right one. So we are kind of shifting things around, putting a lot of responsibility in your hands. What do we offer? Well, we have different fields, for example, ICT, engineering, business, arts, logistics, allied health sciences, and communication. Well, today I'm going to present shortly each and one of them. So bear with me for a little while. But in general, whatever you study with us, you'll have a minor, and that will be in your 3rd year, and you'll have 2 internships. And of course, plenty of exchange programs and different projects, because this is how we work. There is a big opportunity for you guys to work in the region at international companies, to tackle real problems and learn by doing, because this is how we do things at our university. We have very interactive classes. Actually, it's very weird for me to talk to you through a screen because normally I will be just moving around and talking to you and asking you a lot of questions. It's very weird for me to stand still, and I'm already sitting here for a while, getting bored. Also, the fact that, you know, it's just a screen, there's nobody there to say hello. It's kind of breaks my heart a little bit. I really love to be around you guys. But okay, this is what we have and this is what we are doing. hybrid learning. So of course, nowadays, we would like to offer you a lot of flexibility. So flexibility also means, studying whenever it's convenient for you. So not when it is in your schedule. So these are all big changes coming up in the Netherlands. Our approach is very practical, especially in certain parts of our programs. We work with project-based learning, meaning you're learning from projects, nothing else. And we have, of course, internships. The lecturers are usually not people that are in front of the classroom telling you what to do, but they are in the middle with you together, trying to be coaches, to ask you the most annoying questions there are. So we sometimes behave like a 3-year-old, asking our students, but why, but why, but why, but why, until they go crazy. Because once you can justify what you are doing, then that means you really thought it through. So we want to raise critical thinkers. And this is what we are very proud of, because we are achieving our goals. Lecturers are experts in certain fields. So I'm not expert in everything. So you can ask me a lot of things in terms of communication, in terms of marketing. You can ask me things about HR. However, you cannot ask me anything about accountancy, finance and control. That's not my part. So then another colleague would have to take over if we work together in a project. We offer a lot of personal attention to our students. The students have a buddy when they arrive to the university. And we also try to give you a personal coach. So one of us will be your coach throughout the 4 years that you're studying with us, so that you can go there and ask questions about your study, about your issues, maybe private things that you suffer from, or that you would like to just talk to somebody about. So you get enough care and attention from our part. We have also a classroom interaction, because this is kind of how we work. And we want students that are open-minded, because we have a certain profile in mind. We want open-minded students with respect for all opinions, but we actually do get them, to be honest. We are an applied sciences university, but in the Netherlands, you can also find research universities. So what is the difference between the two? Well, you can see one huge difference. Applied sciences universities, you study 4 years. For a research university, you study 3 years. But that's just at the surface. So that's not the most important difference. So if you think, well, I'm going to research 2-3 years and be done with it, well, not really. Because after you finish your research university with a bachelor degree, you don't have enough knowledge for you to start working. Because research university is actually looking into offering students a higher knowledge. So the level of knowledge is way higher. And usually the students that would like to stay and do research, stay at the university, go into this research field, they love to learn from books, is a student that likes to be alone, maybe most of the times, likes to focus on his own or her own. That would be the research university for. So it generates new knowledge for the future. This is what this university is preparing you to do. A University of Applied Sciences is basically, of course, you get knowledge, we offer you good education and everything, but what we offer you is very much practice. So at the end of the 4 years with us, you practically know enough for you to get hired. Also because we are very practical. In the 3rd year, you go and have a job, you have your first internship, and in the 4th year, you also have your second internship. That means studying with us for 4 years means also 1 year of work, practicing your skills and, working. So that is kind of the difference between the two. Applied sciences also means we don't study from books, because basically, I have a phone in my hands. My phone gives me all the information I need. So if I want to Google something to find out, okay, what does that mean? I can find it. But how do I solve a problem? Yeah, this telephone is not going to tell you. And also a lecturer cannot tell you. So everything you can develop and research yourself is going to help you figure out things for the future. So this is how we work, basically, very simple. Both educational systems will give you exactly the same degree. So you have a bachelor, and both universities can bring you to a master degree if you want to do that. The difference is applied sciences, you don't really have to go for a master because, yeah, you are trained enough, you can find a job, you can go to work. The bachelor that you get at a research university, most probably you have to go for a master's degree because you don't have enough experience for you to become a researcher. So you would have to go to a higher level. Good, let's move on. 3 campuses. You've seen already a picture from Eindhoven. This is another picture from Eindhoven. Eindhoven is called the brain port of the region, also the Silicon Valley of Europe. And I'm not exaggerating when I'm saying that. I'm not just using fancy words. Silicon Valley of Europe, because all the companies that you can find in the United States, California, Silicon Valley, you can also find some headquarters in Eindhoven, because yeah, it's a very technological, it's a good technological hub in Europe. So that's Eindhoven. We have another place, Tilburg, where you usually study arts, music, dancing, this kind of things. And we have one more in Venlo. I have to be honest, this is where I live and this is where I work. So of course, this is the nicest place to be. I cannot make it more honest than that. When you come to Venlo, you usually come here because you want to study business or logistics. We do have some technology. They all come together. Venlo is a smaller city compared to the other 2 at the border with Germany. Okay, so I told you what we have in a nutshell. Now you see the pictures. And now we are going to get a little bit into details about what you can study if you come and study with us. Allied health professionals. Yeah, what is that? What does that mean? Maybe some of you have an idea, maybe some of you do not yet, but you can study physiotherapy. Yeah, so I think that that's very clear for everybody what that means. You can also study medical imaging and radiotherapy. Well, that's maybe a little bit complicated. What does that mean? Every scan that you take of your body, that is done maybe by a type of imaging, like a sonogram, as well as radiotherapy, right? X-ray scans, whatever of your body. And this is what you can study here. You're not basically a doctor, but you are a technician that is trained to take these tests and also to analyze the data that comes after this, right? So it's a very practical thing. What is fun about this thing is that well, the university and this department is just across the street from the hospital. We have the same technology as they have in the hospital. And sometimes in the hospital, if they have a lot of patients and they cannot deal with them, they send them across the street to us. So that doesn't mean that we let students play with patients, but that means that we do have the materials just as high tech as they have them in the hospital. That means that the clients, they get to have their scans done. Of course, there will be a doctor looking at the medical scan and come with a diagnosis. However, you as a student, yeah, you get to test these tools and learn by doing, which is really cool. And of course, in the first year, the students play a lot on each other with a sonogram and testing and seeing how things work. And of course, under the supervision of the lecturers. But a very nice study. Well, both of them very interesting if you're interested in that. Arts. I said that we have dance, we have even circus. You saw in the previous picture a guy jumping. We have also music and performing arts. If you study arts, you can also go for a master, and we have a few masters here. But of course, let's take it one step at a time. Let's go for the bachelor first. So if you're an artist and if you're thinking, I would love to learn further, to dance further, or to learn music further, this could be a program for you. There is quite a tough admission selection here because, of course, you would need to audition for this part. Moving on, we have a part of communication. We have two programs here, communication international and communication management, both at the Bachelor of Arts. So if you're interested in, learning and combining communication with business, then this could be a nice program for you. I'm moving into the field where I feel very comfortable because this is the field where I'm working. If you're more interested in economics and marketing, you can, for example, come and study international business, or you can study marketing management in combination with digital business concepts, finance and control, or trend research and concept creation in lifestyle. So these are also the economical fields that you can study in. We do have some master programs as well that you can maybe get into if you're interested. All these business programs, if you want to study business, although there is some overlap here and there, because for example, international business, you can study in Venlo and in Eindhoven. The best place to study business is in Venlo, the border with Germany, because that's our specialty. Most of my colleagues have worked in the industry. We had our own businesses maybe at a certain point in time. Some of my colleagues still have an own business and they work part-time at university. So we're not only teachers, but we are also trained in the field of business. So when we give examples, it comes from real life examples. You can also study engineering, and we have quite a bunch here. Engineering, usually you go to Eindhoven for this. We have automotives, we have electrical and electronic engineering, industrial design, we have industrial engineering and management, mathematical engineering, mechanical engineering, and mechatronics. So all of these fields are engineering basically. However, unfortunately, I don't have the time to explain to you all of them. However, if you go to our website, you'll find everything you need to know about each and every program. Next to that, we are also here with EDMUNDO. This is our very much valued partner in bringing students to Fontes. They can answer all the questions, and sometimes even better than I can, because I don't know everything about everything here. They do know more than I do, as I am just a lecturer from the business department. So I don't know so much about mechatronics, for example. I know some things, but not a lot of things. So you can totally stay in touch with EDMUNDO, and they will for sure help you further. We also have ICT programs. They are very popular with students, international students, normally speaking. Also ICT, we don't only have ICT anymore because companies want ICT and something. So we have this very beautiful combinations with ICT and business, ICT technology, software engineering, infrastructure, or media design. Just to give you that different thing, that niche, that unique selling proposition that other students might not have if they only take information and communication technology. So basically, this is what we try to do. We have two other programs, software engineering and business informatics, for the ones that are interested in more software engineering and business informatics in general. Logistics. I don't know how many of you know about logistics. Usually when I do these presentations live and I'm asking my students, hey, have you ever heard of logistics? They kind of look at me and say, I don't know what you're talking about. But I think that now, because of COVID, I think a lot of us ordered a lot of things online. Probably, especially in the beginning, when we were so afraid to go out, and maybe some of us were not even allowed. Well, in the Netherlands, we were very relaxed, but I know that some countries were not very relaxed, so they had a very heavy lockdown. So everything that you wanted to get was you know, in a different way. So it had to be ordered online. I don't know if you ever ask yourself, okay, if I click on this product today and it arrives at my doorstep tomorrow, how does that happen? Because from the moment you click and you order something until the moment it arrives at your doorstep, a lot of things happen, a lot of processes happen. And that's basically logistics. And it's a very complex thing. Because you need a huge warehouse. This is a picture of a warehouse. You need a warehouse to store all your products, but you also need somebody that can think and decide, okay, if today I'm ordering, if today 5 people are going to buy laptops, how many laptops do I still have on my shelf in the warehouse? Do I need to order some more from the factory so that I have everything I need in the warehouse? Remember that some of these companies, they are very competitive, right? That they promise you second day delivery or next day delivery, something like that. So there is somebody that has to think it through. Oh, wait a second, I'm almost low in supplies. I have to order some more, right? So sometimes you have to kind of calculate and give a prognosis because you never know what happens in the future. But sometimes you have to think, okay, how much stock? You cannot have too much because everything that you bring to a warehouse costs money. And putting things there on the shelf and not doing anything with them, they also cost money. So it's a very, very complex system. The supply chain management means, you know, the chain of from the moment it's produced until the moment it gets to my door, what kind of processes are needed. So this is what it is. It's a very beautiful study. It's a very, well, looks a little bit difficult to me. However, it's very, very practical. You can study this in Velo, and basically what you're doing, you're going to companies because you cannot study logistics from just behind the laptop. You have to go, you have to see, you have to feel and talk to people. Otherwise, probably it's not going to work out. Logistics and supply chain, you can study, so logistics engineering, logistic management. And of course, you can have a few master degrees that you can go for. Up to you, whatever you feel that meets your needs. However, you start first with a bachelor. And you can take a logistics in engineering if you're more focused on, you know, IT. And not only, but also logistics management if you want to incorporate the business part with logistics. As you can see, we don't only go into logistics or only go into business. We always try to combine them somehow, or ICT, because I don't know, but companies lately, they became very picky and they want professionals that can do a lot of things. So of course, we always try to prepare you guys for the future, for your future career, because you are not coming to the university for me. You're coming to university for yourself, for your future. So my goal is to prepare you as well as I can for your future. So by talking to industries, talking to companies and seeing what their needs are, this way we can make our programs better. So that's why you cannot study just logistics or just ICT, because they want more. So if they want more, we have to give you more, because in the end, you have to be a good professional over there. So this is what we're trying to achieve. You study 4 years, I said that before. Usually the first year is to explore. So like a helicopter view. So imagine you're a helicopter quite high in the sky. First year, you're exploring, you're looking, okay, what do I see? What do I see? What do I like? What do I want to do? I don't know. Let me do a little bit of everything. And then the second year comes with more focus on, okay, now I think I'm finding my way. I think I know what I want to do. I know what I like. The third year, you have one internship and one minor. Usually is a minor abroad. I'm going to explain to you in a second what that means. And in your fourth year is your specialty, so specialization, final year, where you basically come back to school for another half a year and go again on an internship where you also write your bachelor thesis. Internships, 2 internships possible. So one in the third year, one in the fourth year. Where can you go to? Well, anywhere you want. Here you see some cool logos. And of course, a lot of our students went to these companies. Why these companies? Because they are so fancy? No, just pure and simple because they are in the neighborhood of where we live. So, and they are big companies and they are always looking for interns. Why do they want interns? Well, because they want young people, fresh from school, with the best knowledge, the newest developments, fresh in their minds, right? And of course, it's cheap labor too, because you'll get paid as an intern, but of course, you will not get paid as much as I would get paid if I apply for them, for a job with them. So that's the difference. So of course, they want you, and you also want them, because imagine having on your CV, you know, you worked for Tesla, or you work for Daimler, or you worked for, I don't know, Philips, right? So of course you want them and they want you. So this is just something that you can look into. I have to be honest, we are not going to give you these companies. It's up to you to go and apply with them. It's up to you to present yourself very well during an interview. If you can do that, of course, they would like to take you and be their intern for 6 months. But it's up to you. We are not going to give you a position, because in real life, nobody gives you anything, right? So we are going to train you how to write your CV. We are going to train you on how to present yourself. We are going to train you how to negotiate your salary. However, then it's up to you and you're on your own. You can go and apply for a job. You can go for an interview and hopefully you get the job that you are looking for. Of course, these jobs being very practical, because basically you're not a student in this time, but you're just working, right, from 9 to 5. They give you a real clear view of what it is when you're working somewhere. What do you need? And you also figure out what you like to do. If you're studying, for example, let me stay with business because that's the most comfortable for me. Let's say you're studying international business, which is a very general program. You learn a little bit of everything. Well, when you're doing an internship like this, you might figure out, well, I'm so much into fashion. I really love that. And I really love organizing events. And I really like to do this more. So maybe you are going to go for a company where you can organize a lot of events. Or maybe you say, okay, well, I really love human resources. I would like to be part of that team. Well, you can go and develop yourself in that field, of course. Practical matters. I'm going to tell you a little bit how to apply and what you can do with us, but I'm going to be very short in this part because, again, sorry, Edmundo is here. So if you guys have any other questions, they can help you further. Admission requirements. Well, you need a diploma of higher secondary education, usually called Baccalaureate. You need to have a good level of English. With that, for certain countries, we don't really need the paper, but we would like you guys to be aware that a certain level is good. For Romanian students, for example, we don't ask them for the English certificate per se, but we do ask the students to know themselves, or if they have doubts, to test themselves to make sure that they have a certain level. Of course, speaking English is very important because we do everything in English, and also getting a job later on, you'll do that in English. So your English has to be at a certain level. For application, we have one general link that works for every university. However, again, also for this, you have Edmundo for, they can help you with all the paperwork. You don't need to worry about anything, and you don't need to worry if you have everything that needs to be done, because they do that for you. You can, if you're a student that would like to start in September, you can still register until the 15th of June if you're from the European Union. Sorry, the only thing that I have to say is that you have to pay attention that accommodation might be an issue for you. It's not only Fontes, it's actually, this is an issue in the Netherlands. Why is that an issue? Well, because we have a lot of jobs and we have a lot of people coming to get those jobs. So a lot of expats and a lot of people from everywhere in the world that are looking for jobs. And you can imagine that, yeah, if I'm Romanian, I'm looking for a job, I found a job at Philips, I'm going to get myself an apartment of some kind, maybe a room, maybe an apartment, whatever I can afford. So that means that also for the students, it becomes very difficult to find something. Tuition fee, if you're from the European Union, the tuition fee is 2,200 euro. And for the students starting now in September, this will be 50% discount. So that will be 1,104, something. I told you that I don't know mathematics, for the first year. After that, you guys would have to pay the full amount. Okay. Good. Living costs. Yeah, living costs somewhere around 700 euro. It depends on how expensive the room is. If the room is about 500 euro, maybe 200 euro more, and you can make it. If not, could be, of course, more. I have students that survive with less than that, and I have students that cannot make it with 2,000 euro per month. But that depends on, you know, your living situation, the possibilities you have at home, and what you're used to. I advise everybody to take an insurance, because you never know if something happens to you. Going to the hospital or to the doctors here in the Netherlands is quite expensive, so you wouldn't like to risk it. So get yourself insured. We don't have any scholarships, unfortunately, because this is actually quite discounted, because this is it's not a private university, and the government is already subsidizing us enough with this 50% off for you guys, and of course also with further on with tuition fees that are quite decent, I would say, compared to other countries in the world. For accommodation, that's a problem. So I said that before. So please, please, please ask for help. Ask Edmundo to take care of you, to ask our colleagues to be, you know, to try hard to find something for you, but also be proactive yourself. Start looking for something yourself, because, you know, we can try, everybody can try. However, we don't know what we can do or what we can find. So I think if everybody is trying, then there should be possibilities found. So yeah, that's about the accommodation. I'm approaching the end, because my idea for today is also to leave some room for you guys to ask questions. And I would really love if you do, because otherwise I just spoken to myself the whole evening. So what you can do when you come to us as a student, first of all, you will get a lot of support from us in the beginning for you guys to get adjusted. But also there are quite some opportunities of jobs as a student around the location where you are, but also maybe even at the university. So we have this student ambassador programs, for example, where you could be part of, but before you are part of that, maybe you would like to get on the website and find a student ambassador from your country, yeah, and maybe they would like to answer your questions if you have any. So I would totally advise you to do that. My students are very much willing to help you, so, and share their experience with you. So please go on the website and try to get in touch with our student ambassadors. It could be you at a certain point today or tomorrow, once you are a student with us. It could be you, the one to do that. These are my students. This is my garden. Usually I use this slide and I start speaking Romanian. However, I will not be doing that because of also other nationalities in the meeting. But usually that would be the moment that I would shock you by speaking Romanian, because I'm Romanian actually. This is just a small group of students that made it at my house. This was before Corona, unfortunately, so I really hope that I can do this again after Corona. Yeah, this is only for the campus, for the students that come to Venlo, because that's the place where I live, and I really love to stay in touch with the students as much as I can. It keeps me young and it keeps me motivated to do a good job, so that I can get even more students to my campus, so that we can, you know, enjoy some time together. You have my email address in case you would like to pay us a visit. We can arrange that for you if you want to be a student for a day. In case you still have doubts and you don't know if you want to study with us, please let me know and we can take care of that. Also, if you think, okay, I would like to get in touch with a student, but the student ambassadors on the website, I don't know who they are. So I'm going to ask Christina to help. Write me an email and I'm going to try to help you by putting you in touch with one of my students. I think I'm done. So I want to thank you very, very much for your patience and for your time. I'm getting back to the full screen and I would love to hear you and answer your questions. Thank you very much for paying attention, and now it's your turn.
Thank you very much for your presentation. The information was very clear. I really enjoyed the presentation, and I see there are several questions written in the chat box.
Yeah, so if you can help me, Alexandra, that would be great. Thank you.
The first one, are there any cybersecurity courses at your uni?
I think we have something in a specialty with the ICT, but that's not just, it's just if you combine it with ICT. Yeah, I think somebody already put something in the chat. Yeah.
Yes, there is
already did.
There.
Yes.
The link.
Thank you. Yeah, there is a link. Yeah.
The next one, what happens if you cannot get an internship?
Yeah. Well, that will not happen. There's no student that went home because they couldn't find an internship. Remember what I told you guys, you know, you want the company, but they want you too. And you're cheap labor for them because you're going to work there from 9 to 5. If I go and work there, they would have to pay me a few €1,000 because I'm not getting out of bed for less. But you have to get out of bed for 500. So of course they would love to have you. So no worries about that. I know it sounds really mean what I'm saying, but hey, I've been a student once upon a time and I had to do it for less than 5. So go ahead, do it. You'll get there. You'll get there. Yeah. The internship in the 3rd year are paid or not? Yeah, they are paid depending on the country where you take it. You have the full freedom to go anywhere you want. In the Netherlands, very crazy. They don't pay a lot. They pay about 500, 600. Depends what you can negotiate, because the problem is they tell you, yeah, standard is 500. Yeah, standard. But if you have the guts to say, I'm sorry, but I'm a very good student and I'm not coming here for less than 1,000. Yeah, they will give you 1,000. I have students that really got the job done by asking more. So yeah, you'll be paid. No problem whatsoever. Just negotiate your salary. In Germany, they pay more. That's the nice advantage of studying in the Netherlands. Small country, you can go to Germany, you can go to Belgium, you can go to UK. You don't have to do your internship in the Netherlands. Yeah. Let's see, what else? Is there an admission test, or it depends on what kind of program you choose? Generally, we don't have an admission test, so the answer is no. However, it could be that for some programs, we ask specific subjects like mathematics and physics and stuff like that. For some programs, for example, business, I can tell you that. I'm returning to what I know. For sure, there we don't need any kind of specific subjects. However, you can imagine that if you study ICT, you need mathematics. I mean, you cannot do without, right? Or engineering, you cannot do without. So no admission tests, but for some programs, you might have a certain package. So some subjects are very important. I hope I answered this sufficiently. I joined the meeting later. I don't know if you answered this question, but what is the acceptance rate? Is it hard to get here? Okay, I'm going to tell you something that is going to shock you, but please bear with me and remember what I'm saying. So it's very easy to enter this university, but that doesn't mean it's because it's a party university and you know, we don't care and we let everybody come here. In first place, yeah, we do. Why do we do that? So everybody that has a baccalaureate can enter and study with us for two reasons. One reason, and the most important one, is a legal one. If you are a country in the European Union, we cannot possibly tell you, okay, you're European Union, we are European Union, our students can start, but you guys cannot. So for you, you need to do more for us. That would be illegal. We cannot do that. So we have to allow all the students with a baccalaureate to start with us. Case closed. Nothing to do about that. It's legal. The second thing, and that's maybe even more relevant for the university, is that we know that sometimes systems, and I'm Romanian, so I know the Romanian system. The Romanian system doesn't really match with the Dutch system. Romanian system is usually based on memorizing, learning by heart. Well, it cannot ever match with a system where we say, okay, this is the problem, go solve it. If you're not a student that, you know, is not scared about the unknown and about, oh my God, who's going to help me? How am I going to solve this? But it's going to say, okay, nice challenge. Okay, let me go and try. Right? You might not be a good student for us. So even if in Romanian style you got a 10, in Dutch style you might fail. And if you got a 6 in Romanian style, because you actually do not like to learn things by heart, but you are very creative, a good thinker, and you like to solve problems, you might be perfect student for us. So that's why, no, it's very easy to enter. However, we only keep you as a student for the first year. And in the first year, we can say goodbye to you if you're not a serious student. So this is kind of how we do it. We don't have a pre-selection, but we have a very natural selection. We give you 1 year to prove to us that you want to study with us. If you don't make it, then you have to go home. So I hope that you understand why we don't have this, why it's so easy to enter. Yeah, it's easy to enter, that's true. But it's only the good ones will stay. I promise you that. Okay, do students need to take an admission test? Okay, I answered this. We don't have admission tests. However, for engineering, there are some subjects that are very important, like mathematics, for example, and maybe some other subjects as well. Do you think I will be able to keep up with a program that is not in my comfort zone? For example, business, if in school, I wasn't really that good at it. Well, business is really easy. Well, maybe I say it's easy because I like it, but it's really fun. And it's really a lot of discovering things. And we start all from scratch, you know, all the students, there are different nationalities, different study programs, they all come together and we start playing. And usually what happens in business is we give you a case study that comes from a company. They say, okay, the sales are dropping. We don't know why. Can you guys look into that? Well, that's a very typical problem that we try to solve. You try to solve it, we try to guide you. As simple as that. When you guys are done, 16 weeks later, we present it to the company. The company is happy. They didn't have to pay a lot of money for it because it was for free. And we got to play with real cases. Right? So no worries about that. And getting yourself a little bit out of your comfort zone is actually where learning comes from. Yeah. If we stay in our comfort zone, we don't learn anything. So we have to push ourselves a little bit outside. Just a little bit outside, not very much outside because we get to the panic zone. Just a little outside of the comfort zone. This is where we learn. Can I get with my predicted grades in A levels from UK? As far as I know, yes. A levels are allowed. But I think, again, EDMUNDO knows better here. But I believe it is possible. Is there a minimum grade requirement for the baccalaureate? No. For the explanation that I've given you earlier, the answer is no, you don't need a certain grade. And I explained to you why we don't need a certain grade. Basically, what you study in your country might not be relevant for what you're going to study in the Netherlands. Is a Cambridge certificate required or just IELTS? I see your name, so you're Romanian. Actually, you don't need per se this piece of paper. However, you need to have at least a B2 level or IELTS with a 6.0. If you need to test yourself to make sure that you're at least at that level, then you should do that. But for us, you don't have to. We can take you anyway, because we work already with a lot of Romanians and we know your level of English is at least a B2 level. But yeah, it's up to you if you want to go for this exam. In my opinion, maybe you should, just because some other universities do ask for it. So we don't. So if you want Fontes, yeah, we don't need it. But if you want something else, or if you want also another choice, then you should maybe. So that's all I can say. What about logistics? Do we need some advanced math basis? No, nothing is advanced. No, absolutely not. No. So you'll learn a lot of things, because actually also the mathematics that you study when for the places where you need it it's a very logical type of mathematics. So don't worry about it. Can I get in with predicted grades in the A levels? Yes, the answer was yes. Is there a minimum grade required? No, not a minimum grade required, just a pass. Am I reading them again? What am I doing? No, I think I have them. Do I need to take math at the baccalaureate exam, or can I enter with just the grades from high school? Depending on the study program, Raluca, I see that you're asking this question. Depending on the study program, you might not even need mathematics. If you study business, for example, international business, you don't need mathematics. But if you study finance and control in business, then you do need mathematics. Also, if you study other things, you might need mathematics. But for some programs, you don't even have to have mathematics on the baccalaureate. It depends on the program. Is it a problem if I didn't study math in high school and I want to apply for business? No, that's not a problem. We actually have a lot of students that didn't study, well, had only mathematics in the 9th and 10th grade, as far as I know, because that's kind of compulsory, I think, but I'm not sure. But yeah, you can come and study also without mathematics, but only for business, huh? And some parts of business, because again, some not. Somebody says communication, but I don't know what. So I think we got at the end of the messages, if I'm correct, Alexandra. I think we are done, right? This works.
We are done.
Yeah. So if you guys have any other questions, unmute or write. But we made it perfectly in time, so that's absolutely amazing. If you guys don't write and don't unmute, then please allow me to say thank you to all of you for staying with me and listening to me. I hope it wasn't too boring. Thank you very much for paying attention. Also, I want to thank Edmundo. I've had some great interviews today with some people, and I enjoyed it a lot. I also enjoyed seeing so many of you today. So thank you, Edmundo, for organizing this again to such a great level. So thank you. I'm very happy. I hope to see a lot of you studying at Fontes. And if you make another choice, then of course, lots of luck to you. Make the best choice for you and have a beautiful, successful career. Thank you very much to all of you and have a lovely evening.
Thank you very much for being tonight with us, for your amazing presentation and answering all the questions. Thank you everyone for being here tonight. We have here our colleague from Fins alone, who is waiting here to have a presentation about how you can finance your study and make your dreams come true.
Exactly.
Thank you. Have a lovely evening, everybody. Bye-bye. Good luck.
Alex, you may start.
Perfect. Yeah, I will share my screen first. So hi guys, my name is Alex. I'm a financial consultant for Fins. I want to present you a little bit today some details about who are we, who is Fins, what are our services, how can we help you in, let's say, pursuing your educational dream. So Fins started a few years ago. We work closely with more than 200 students in the last 3 years. We have more than 30 universities by our side in terms of partnerships with them from Europe. We work closely with different educational agents from Europe and also with EDMUNDO, Romania and Greece. And we are basically trying to create the most flexible loan plan so that you can go to the university that you want to study and have support from our side. So we believe our mantra is that the lack of money should not stop anyone from pursuing an excellent education. And if you ask for my personal opinion, the best investment we could all ever make is in our own education. Perfect. So I will be very briefly, I will just tell you a few details about the main advantages of applying for our service. Basically, we are not a bank, so we are a non-financial banking institution. So there are some fantastic benefits that you can have access for. One of them is that we will not ask for any prior employment or earning history. Usually a bank will do that. We will not ask for any real estate guarantee. We will offer you a grace period during your study period and also 6 months after you finish your studies so that you can have enough time to find a job. A bank will never do that. Your loan will be flexible. Your budget, the budget you will have to prepare, which is part of the documents that you need to have ready, will be done by you and can be very flexible in terms of your needs. So your loan will be flexible and will be used for your tuition fees, your living expenses, and will go directly to your bank account. How you will basically use the money you will borrow from Fins will have to meet your monthly student needs. So you will have to know how much money you will need for food, transport, other expenses, and the most important one, your tuition fee. The repayment, because as I've mentioned, you are our priority and we want to make this experience as beautiful as possible. The repayment will be structured in the most affordable way with long repayments between 5 and 10 years, 10 years for undergraduate studies and 5 years for master programs. These are the main advantages. On the website, you can actually see, I will show you right now. So on the website, at the Apply Now section, download application resources, you can see all the documents that are required for you, for applying for a loan. It's very simple. Most of the documents you already have them for your university, so that will not take much of your time and energy. These documents are the following ones: CV, budget, recommendation letter, academic transcript, and your acceptance letter from the university you want to go to study at. It's really, really accessible, very simple. Okay. The main, let's say, rules in order for you guys to be able to apply for a loan are the following ones. You just need to be an EU citizen, to have no other outstanding debts towards a financial institution, and of course apply for a university from Europe, which you do because you're going in Netherlands. If you want to know more details about, because there are a few more details about, you know, the loan itself, about the interest and all these financial characteristics, please, I recommend you to, let me just stop my screen. I recommend you to book a free guidance session with me, in which we can discuss more details about, you know, the whole process, the interest financial details. I will just put this link in the chat. 1 second. And I'm really happy to see you in one of my sessions. Yes, so you can see now the link here. Perfect. If you guys have any other question, I'm really happy to answer them. I was really fast on this one. Okay, so we are really happy to be here and support you in your educational journey. Vince is here for you to support you, and I can't wait to see you in one of my free guidance sessions. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. And thank you everyone for being here today with us. If you have any questions, you can contact us via website. We are on Facebook, too, on Instagram, on TikTok. Just let us know you need our help and we will help you. And I think we can end for today. And have a lovely evening.